Hey, my friends. I hope you're all doing well out there. Welcome to the premiere episode of the Time Between channel. This is a channel where we'll talk about old times, new times, and the time between, and perhaps some of what we've lost along the way and what's worth keeping and bringing back. This is not a channel to say the past was better. The past was not perfect, but there were things about it that like I said, I think we've lost along the way. You know, one of those things was what friendship used to be like before social media came along. I was thinking the other day, I probably have more friends now and talk to more people now than I ever did in my life, but in some way or another, it almost feels like less because in the day before social media, friendship took work. I mean, you actually made time with that person and for that person. You called them on the phone. There wasn't text messages, there wasn't Facebook, there wasn't Instagram, there were none of those things. I remember when I was a kid, the phone was the big thing, you know, and we had a rotary phone in my house. My parents did when I was a kid, and most people probably today don't even know what a rotary phone was, but it had a dial on the phone and it had numbers on it, and you put your finger in whatever number and you pulled it down and then it come back around, and that's how you dialed each number. You had to do each number that way. But you know, when I'd get home from school, sometimes me and my friends would call each other. That was you felt kind of important when you could call each other on the phone and talk, you know, aside from being at school. But back then, friendships required work. And not to say that that was work. It definitely wasn't that kind of work, but it took effort, perhaps is a better word to say. And another thing was like writing letters. I so miss the days when we were able to write physical, handwritten letters and put them in an envelope and put a stamp on it and then stick it in the mailbox, put the mailbox flag up for the mailman, and send it off to the person you were writing. And then lo and behold, a few days or a week or two later, you would go check the mail and you'd have a letter back from that person telling you about what was going on in their life. That was fun times, and I miss that. There's something missing about sending a text message or a message through Facebook or whatever. It's much more impersonal than having a tangible something in your hand that somebody has written to you, you know, that they've actually, with their own hand, wrote out those lines and those words to you. You had something tangible. You know, we follow a lot of people on Facebook. I know I follow different people, musicians that I like and other folks, you know, and so quote unquote friends with a lot of people, but you kind of follow them from a distance. You don't really know what's going on in their lives because a lot of what they put on there is just the good stuff that's going on, like when they have a success at something or have a fun weekend going camping or something like that. You know, that's what you see on Facebook most of the time. You don't really see the reality following that person of what daily life is really like for them. They have their ups and downs just like everybody else, but when you follow them through social media, sometimes it looks like all they have are just fun times and everything goes great in their life all the time, which anybody should know that that's not the way life is. You know, there's ups and downs for everybody. I don't care who you are. But I kind of miss those simpler times, and I think that we should bring some of that back, you know, just even a little at a time. Spend an afternoon without your phone, you know, lay it down for an afternoon and get out in nature and take a walk. You know, how about that? Or do a whole weekend without getting on the phone or on the internet and try that out. Go see someone in person. Spend actual time with that person. Wouldn't that be nice? I remember when I got to where I could drive myself, my grandparents on my mom's side, they lived about an hour away. Well, I got to thinking it'd be nice to go visit them, spend some time with my grandparents on my mom's side. So we planned it. One Saturday, I drove over there. I got lost on the way because I think I took a wrong turn, but I figured out eventually what I'd done and got to their house a little late. I think they were getting worried and my mom was getting worried because I was supposed to call when I got there. But that was fun. We spent time with each other. We listened to each other. We sat with each other, heard what each other had to say. You could see the expression on each other's faces. We went out to eat that night. I remember we had catfish that night. It's a big thing here in the South, fried catfish. Shared a meal together, shared the time in the car driving together, and nobody was on a phone texting somebody while we were driving or while we were sitting there eating or anything. We had that time with each other. And I think we've lost a lot of good things like that along the way. Let's try to bring some of that back. I know I'm going to try it myself as far as getting unhooked from social media and from text messages. Just, maybe have a day or something a week where I don't do it. Just start out small like that and go forward. I think that alone could help people to be a little happier now. Get out in nature during that time and breathe the fresh air, get some sunshine. I hope you've enjoyed this first installment here on Time Between. We'll be talking about a lot more stuff like this in the future. And I hope you all give some of this a try. I know I'm going to. Till next time, bye-bye.